Hello there. How is everyone this blustery, cold morning? Am I ahead of time? Is my my clock wrong? Which is entirely possible. I'm just bringing up the chat here so I can see you guys. Today is a crazy day for me. So busy. I really shouldn't be live streaming, but I know I made a promise that I would try and do it each week. So here I am. Hopefully it's lunch break or after work for a lot of you. I know you guys are all over the place, as is showing up in the comments. So thank you all for taking time out of your busy day to join me. So far today I've had a few customers. I had old neighbors of mine show up with her 5 boys. I hadn't seen her in forever and I was super excited to see them. Getting ready to head out of town in about 2.5 hours. So I haven't even packed yet, and I forgot to charge my phone, so you guys are plugged in right now. So we'll do the best we can. We may not get to look as at as many fish as usual, but we'll see how my battery. No packing needed. I need clothes. We're going to be gone all weekend. I'm going to try and give you guys an hour. Crazy rumble. About an hour and a half ago. I was driving about an hour and a half ago, so I missed it. Did we have like an ice quake or whatever it's called? Hello, Rachel's. So today I also got in some fish. Just a couple things. You guys, I've mentioned and I've shown in my video that I have a pleco breeder friend who lives in upstate, or lives just above New York City, and as part of the deal for me being able to get his fantastic home-raised plecos a couple times a year, I get him fish at cost, so it's fish for him, so nothing particularly exciting. Well, I'm glad you made it, Danielle, if it's the first time. Almost time for shipping again, Tina? I sure hope so. It's killing me. I have had only a handful of shipping days since before Christmas, and generally I only miss a few days a year. So you can imagine that financially this is not the best for me, so I am eager to get back to work as soon as possible. YouTube says up next, Jenna Marbles. I love Jenna Marbles. Someone asked to see the new camera. Let me grab it for you. I'm working on getting my affiliate links all together for Amazon. I'm not very savvy, and for some reason every time I try and make them, it makes it into a wish list instead of a recommended list. So one of these days I'm going to sit down and figure it out, but what I got is the Sony a6500. I just have a little Rode Video Micro on it. It's a little directional mic. And then I got this really cool screen, which is I forget the model number, but it's the 5-inch LCD newest screen. And the camera body itself is around $1,200. The lenses range from about $300 to about $2,000. The one I got is about a $700 lens, and then I have a kit lens as well, which I think is usually around $400. The screen retails for $600, and the mic is about $60. So as you can see, it was quite an investment, but I think of it as an investment into you guys and into myself. Video is something that I'm going to be continuing indefinitely, and while my Nikon was really, really excellent for still photography, and I sell a lot of photographs for magazines and things like that, the video quality just really wasn't there. And I feel like, you know, with the amount of time, energy I invest into doing video, not only for YouTube but for my speaking presentations, it's really just a smart idea for me to invest in the best quality kit that I can. I mean, it shoots 4K. I don't see that becoming obsolete anytime soon. And not only that, but a perk for me personally is that this thing has incredible burst capabilities for photography, which means when I go to see my daughter dive, what I do is I set up a video camera to record her, and then I take photography as well so that she's able to critique her own form and pick out flaws and things like that so that she can improve. And also to be able to have her recognized as things as an all-American athlete, etc. You have to submit videos for that. So with this, I can get really great quality video, and I can do really incredible burst photography. So for me, it was like a double win. It also performs really amazingly well in low light, which, as you can imagine, in the aquarium is a boon, but also at the pool. So I think it's going to be really amazing. I had borrowed one from Brian Butler, who's the, I don't know if he's the regional manager or whatever, but he's a Sony rep, and he let me borrow his personal A6500 for a few weeks in order for me to try it out and make sure it would work for my application. But yeah, Amelia just said that she likes the size, and the thing is, without this screen, this thing only weighs like under 2 pounds, and I travel a lot and I go to a lot of shows, and lugging around that huge SLR, man, I'm getting too old for that. I need something lightweight, compact. All of this fits into a little camera bag the size of a small purse. You know, that it can be charged with the same charger as my cell phone, and I can use my external battery for my cell phone to charge the camera while I'm using it. So there's all kinds of like great things. Oh, the other thing it has that I haven't played around a whole lot with yet is the Wi-Fi capability. Thank you for the super chat, Travis, and welcome. I can transfer photographs or videos directly from my camera to my cell phone through Bluetooth, which is really cool. And I imagine that there would be a way to stream from it as well. But again, I haven't set it up with my Wi-Fi network yet. I haven't like played around with all that stuff, and I need to dig around. Right now, I'm just focusing on getting the settings locked in for what's best for me for shooting video. So we'll see. I'm sure over the upcoming months, you guys are going to notice a big improvement in my my video quality. And up next is getting a new laptop, because mine is ancient and not at all capable for editing video, honestly. It took me yesterday for that video that had that real long one. It took 4 hours for me to get that all, you hear the gars, loaded and all that stuff, and it's just a nightmare. So I'm going to try and upgrade my computer next, then my editing software. So I'm trying, guys. Yes, I'm doing Ask Me Anything on Reddit next Friday in the subreddit for aquariums. Yeah, it never ends, always something to buy. But the thing is I've had the equipment that I've had, the computer, the camera, all of that, for 6 or 7 years, so I'm a bit overdue. Now again, my camera is still totally relevant, but you know, it's Nikons in general are exceptional for images, but not so exceptional with the video. So that's what's up. Why, thank you. Joey is the king. He likes to call me the Queen of Nano. The thing is like, I don't generally get excited about new gadgets. I'm one of those people that it's like pulling teeth to get me to spend money on anything, especially if I have something that's working. But I really feel like what I had wasn't working, and I have such little spare time that anything I can do to save me time is really saving me a lot of money. So again, it was an investment. Someone asked that they have a mix of fish, harlequins, and something else. It's probably Trigonostigma SBI or pork chop rasbora, or maybe even glow light rasbora. I have fish. Joey does have bigger fish than me, but my gars are pretty big. They're pretty big fish, as are my pollies. Though I don't have those Asian arowana that he does. You know, of course, they're illegal here. And I don't have a tank for something like stingrays, unfortunately. My new book will be more about sort of the ins and outs of nano aquaria. Thank you for the super chats, Shane and Amelia. You know, the last book was very much like a pocket guide to species and very light on the information and the ups and downs of keeping aquariums. The next one's going to go more into the husbandry and sort of the uniquely challenging aspects of both small fish and small aquaria. And it will, pardon me, it will have obviously species in it too. Arowana are illegal because of CITES. Does my daughter dive outside yet? It's 15 degrees outside. So no, you know, it's cold the water is cold at the pool as it is inside. Now in the summer, she'll go do 3 meter outside. I haven't worn my Fish Pimp shirt. It's still down here from last Friday's live stream. Yeah, ice hurts if you dive into it. That is very true. Would I have more big fish if I had the space? Absolutely. You know, and really if I stopped selling so many fish, I have the room for big aquariums. Someone asked how I'm losing weight so fast. I started my diet in September, guys, so it has been 5.5 months. So it really hasn't been fast. It's just everyone's noticing, and I think really what's happened is I got some new clothes that aren't 4 sizes too big, so it's making it more obvious. Yeah, I saw Joey's backgrounds. They look fantastic. Someone asked if I will have bamboo shrimp. No. Do I use a carbon block on my water? I use a micron filtration in the UV sterilizer. Yeah, my outfits were falling off me. You know, it's, and I hate to shop. I hate shopping. Like I said, I hate spending money. I hate it. I hate it with a passion. Like, if it were up to me, like, you know, I had been wearing the same clothes since my kids were born. Someone asked what I cut out of my diet. I cut out all sugar. I cut out, and mainly it's like a low carb type of thing, but it's not like keto. It's not like a super restrictive diet. I just basically eat things that grow and locally produced things like that. So, and again, no sugar. And I never had a sweet tooth anyway, but the amount of sugars in everything is just incredible. Do I have an overarching philosophy to what fish I keep? Yeah, I only keep things that I think are cool. If I don't find it interesting, it's not in the fish room. Do I eat fish? Absolutely, at least 3 times a week. My youngest daughter is pescatarian, so I try and cater at least half our dinners each week to her dietary needs specifically. And then on the nights that you know, I don't cook fish or shellfish, you know, she gets an alternative protein. Why does Coke Zero taste sweet? Because it has artificial sweeteners. I actually don't like it. I was just at it has aspartame. I was just at the drugstore trying to run errands. You know how important you guys are? I chose you over getting to the liquor store before an entire weekend spent in a hotel full of teenage girls. And if you're a parent and you've ever spent the weekend at one of these hotels with like 100 teenage girls, you know that I really needed that whiskey for this weekend. So, that's how important you guys are. Hopefully I'll have time to stop afterwards. I am taking Woodford Reserve, hopefully, for this weekend. It's a delicious sipping whiskey. But we'll see if I have time to stop. After I'm done with you guys, I have to hurry up and do some water changes, and I need to clean up my house, and I need to pack my clothes and camera gear. No, I'm not stuck on nano. You know, I guess I like things that are outside of the typical. I mean, I don't even know if that's really true. Like, when I started fish keeping, there really wasn't like hardly any nano fish other than like guppies or things like, or killies. that were small, that were readily available in the hobby, and I just got really into like sourcing and learning about all these cool little fish. But I also really, really like anything truly unique, like my big primitive fish. I mean, obviously I'm not the only one keeping them, but not that many people keep them, and I really don't understand why, because they're absolutely fascinating. Do live plants need water changes too? Not really if you don't have fish in there, but the thing is if you're dosing any fertilizers, a lot of times, like especially if you're dosing dry fertilizers, you're overdosing each week, so you're providing an excess of nutrients, so no matter what, they get what they need, and you'd want to remove those excess of nutrients. Otherwise, you're going to be feeding algae over time. So, you know, you got to remember that the nutrients you add feed the plants, but the plants have to grow faster than the algae, or they'll start feeding the algae as well. Best beginner shrimp, I think Amano shrimp are. Now, they don't breed. Of the best breedable first shrimp is probably cherry shrimp, simply because they've been around now for 16 years in the hobby, so they're relatively stable and sturdy. Captain Cranky Pants is in a 75 gallon. He's never been constipated that I know of. He's never told me he has been, and I've never noticed any issues. Have I ever kept fancy goldfish? I've kept shabunkins. They're not really fancies. I'm not real into fish that have sort of an altered body shape, so a lot of the like fancies, you know, I'm just not that into. I like fish to be able to swim really naturally. That's why I'm not into like a lot of the fancy bettas or the fancy guppies, or even a lot of the long fin variations of fish. Someone just asked if I'm doing that Ask Me Anything on Reddit. Yes, next Friday. I'll probably get up in the morning, get my coffee, and start that. I'm a little nervous about it because I've never used Reddit. Do a lot of you use Reddit? Do I feed my fish fruit flies? Not generally. I have in the past. It depends on what I'm trying to feed. Be prepared for trolls, that's what I'm worried about. And I just find the whole format of Reddit makes my head hurt a little bit, but I'm trying to get over it. I've been sifting through it the past few days to try and figure out sort of how it works. They had me to do a test post, and that was fine. Do I have a Patreon? I have one set up, but I've never launched it. Snow in PA, yes. Actually, what we have now is we got like 3 inches of snow, and then we got inches of ice on top of it. I feel like I need ice skates to get out of my house. Show me the backside of your hair. It's probably looking, this is yesterday's hair, so I have no, you know, it's not looking super fly. Reddit, the thing about Reddit that gets to me is that it's not like, it's like reading an RSS feed, and it's like, it's not linear. So like, it's not like they go in order of response. And I don't know why I can't get over that. So it's hard for me, but you know, I'm trying to not be a cranky old lady and give it a shot. You know, and the whole upvoting and all that stuff, you know. The last time I commented on something in there, someone said, I don't understand why anyone likes me. I was like, me neither, which people thought was hilarious, so that got a lot of upvotes. The thing with Patreon, Mandolin, is that I don't really know if I'll have more time to give more unique content to make it worth launching something like that. Now, I mean, I do have a donation button on my website. You know, you can set up recurring payments through PayPal with an email address. I mean, I'm not asking anyone to do that. A lot of you have, but I'm not asking you to do that. But, you know, I feel like if I were to launch a Patreon, I want to be able to give something special to those people, and I just don't know that I have time. My thoughts on Rapashi Soylent Green: I helped develop that diet. I think it's fantastic. I love that diet. I beta tested, initially there were 4 Rapashi flavors that they came out with. There was Community Plus, Meat Pie, Shrimp Souffle, and the Soylent Green, and then there was also a goldfish one, which he never really developed. And you know, I got to try him, give feedback, have him altered, and then he settled on the final formulas. So, hi from Philadelphia, Eagles. Can a display tank also be a quarantine tank if you can stock it all at once? Yeah, I mean, in theory, just think, though, that one of the nice things about a quarantine tank is that they're generally pretty bare, which means you have better visibility of your fish when they're new, and it means that you can see when there's issues with the fish. Usually display tanks have substrate, plants, decor, things like that, which can really make it trickier to see if a single fish is isolating itself, which is often sort of one of the first things you'll see if a fish are getting sick. You know, so you can, but keep in mind too, if you end up having to use medication and it's a planted tank, some of the medications can be harsh on plants. So I generally, you know, try and not do that. However, I'm doing it right now. I just stuck 50 otocinklus in my 75-gallon planted. Am I ever around Alabama? No. I don't even know of any clubs in Alabama. I have a huge following in the UK. I would love to visit the UK, but I've never been asked. I can't just afford to fly places. You know, we live on a pretty fixed income, and especially when I haven't been working for 2 months, you know, there's really no way for me to get to Europe. Thank you for the super chat, Matthias. What's the best food for a golden nugget pleco? Probably a good quality sinking pellet. You can supplement with some of the ripashies. Do I have guppies? Yes. Crypto address, is that for like that e-currency? I'm so clueless. My guppies are doing great, reproducing. Do I have jellyfish? No. What's the safest fish to put with cherry shrimp? Kirk asked. The reality is any fish that will eat baby shrimp at the very least. So I always tell people, if your goal is to breed shrimp and you want the highest yield possible, don't keep them with fish. Now, if your goal is to have sort of a self-sustaining colony and visible adults, then a lot of the smaller Danios and Rasboras do well. Ever tried reproducing L46? Yes. I actually raised out a group for almost 5 years. Went away on a speaking engagement, came back, and my heater had cooked them. So I gave up on those, but I have 3 different high pancistris species in the fish room right now, all of which are zebra types. They're not L46. I have L173Bs, L450s, L236s, and then I have another high pancistris species, high pancistris contradens, which is a spotted type. My greenhouse is great. It's 53 degrees in the greenhouse today, and it's about, I think it's about 20 outside. Ever make it to Chicago? Yeah, occasionally. I really like Chicago. What about Ancestris Claro? I don't know if I have any of those right now or not. I don't think so. I go to New York all the time, to whomever asks that. I go to New York usually, you know, every couple of months. Best tank for an Oscar on its own. You can get away with in a 55, but I think a 75 gallon's better. You know, your opinions on that will vary. I kept Captain in the 120 until he kept killing all his tank mates, which is why he's in a 75. Can you keep Habrosis and Pygmy Cories together? Yes. Do I plan on offering zebra plecos? No. Do I have other animals other than fish? I have rabbits and chickens and turtles and cats. I've never tried to breed neon tetras. Hera Giardoni with Neocaridina. They're not very adept or aggressive feeders. That one might work. I would love to, Frank Vicnera just asked me, could I do a video on using flow basically to manipulate behavior. That's one of the incentives or the goals for me setting up all these model communities. So I plan to do that. 300 watching and only 160 likes. Help with about people. Thanks, Jason. What should you feed your pea puffers, snails? Do we eat the rabbits and chickens? No, I eat the chickens' eggs. You know, our chickens, actually, and my chickens are like ancient now. They don't even lay eggs anymore. They just get to be happy chickens roaming the yard, eating and crapping everywhere with no real reward other than that they make exceptional pets. Chickens are super underrated as pets. They're really funny. Heritage birds, yeah. They're reds, Rhode Island reds, and what's jailbird? Barred rocks. We have lots of issues with predators. We have raccoons, fox, bobcat. There's even reports of coyote, though I haven't ever seen or heard any. Possum, and lots of hawks and owls. So they have a completely enclosed pen, including the roof, but I do let them out in the yard. But our yard has mature trees everywhere, so I think we've lost one bird over the years from predation in the yard. The biggest issue is remembering to shut the coop at night. So chickens are fragile beings. Does Joey keep any fancy L number plecos? Not right now, but I know he has in the past, and I know he's thinking about it in the future. The chicken coop we hope to rebuild this spring. Right now, a friend of ours raises bird dogs, so he uses these birds called chuckers as training birds, and he replaces those coops pretty frequently. He gave us them, and they're elevated, so on stilts. So we modified those for the chicken coop. Cochins, yeah. I used to have you guys missed it, and I'm so sad. One of the chickens that got killed was my pet chicken, and its name was Stalker Chicken. Stalker Chicken used to sit in the windows and stare at me until I came outside, and if I was outside, no matter where I was, I would turn and look, and it was always staring at me. She would sit on my shoulder. She was a fantastic chicken. Jack Daniels Tennessee Honey, that's not bad. I like Jim Beam too. But Stalker Chicken had her own Instagram page. Thank you, Hank. Have I thought about visiting the new Embu studio with Corey and I don't know who Joel is. No, I haven't. I have thought about going back to Portland. I really enjoyed that club. But I don't really have any burning need to see a studio. Laser quarries available. A lot of those I might keep for myself to breed, to do a breeding video for you. I'm sure I'll have some to sell. Whiskey gifts in the P.O. box. That sounds fantastic, honestly. Is it even legal to ship liquor, though? Be careful. Ontario. I'm coming to Ontario in June. Are you planning on doing a meet and greet when I go to Truro? I don't know. That's I don't even know when I'm coming back. Thank you, Scorpiona Topaz Longoria. I don't even know when I'm coming back. We talked about maybe March. I'm going to be hitting up Toronto, June 9th, I think. How did I get into the aquarium hobby? I had fish as a kid, and then when I started my family, I got tanks again. I needed something to like keep my brain active and to focus on and think about other than my family. I drink Jameson's. When am I coming to Virginia next? I'm not sure, but I'll be close to that March 2nd through 4th for the Big Fish Deal. That's in Maryland. I would really encourage you guys to check that out. It's the big, Joey's lecturing, I'm lecturing, Jules Dignall, the owner of Planet Catfish, is lecturing, Jim Cummings is lecturing, there's an Aquarium Beautiful contest, there's raffles, there's a rare fish auction, and on Sunday there's a gigantic marketplace, and the whole thing's really cheap. I forget how much it is, but it's a very affordable event, and it's going to be really awesome. I think we had about 500 people last year, so why do I hate you? I don't even know who you are. West Virginia, I have not spoken in West Virginia. I've been to Ohio a bunch of times. Yes, March 2nd through 4th, I believe it is. California, I'm supposed to hit this year. It's more central to northern, I believe. You know, all my speaking stuff's upstairs. I need to get everything on my website. There's like this laundry list of things that I need to get done that I have no excuse other than that I haven't done it. Yeah, Bay Area for California. To Michigan, I've spoken in Michigan. The black darters are doing well. I need to move them into an aquarium that's like prettier for them so that we can really let them color up and look beautiful. I live in Pennsylvania, aquatic fish keeping. Yeah, why do today what you can leave for tomorrow? The reality is like I'm never not working. I just have a hard time. You know, there's like certain things that I just put off, and a lot of the computer stuff or paperwork stuff is that. Why is Tucano Tetra so expensive? Because they're difficult to get exported, and a lot of the stuff that comes out of Peru and Brazil like that, the freight is insanely expensive. How noisy is a Hillstream tank? It's not noisy. Doesn't need to be noisy. Arizona, I've never been to. Someone asked me why I don't use feeders or live food. I don't use feeders, like store purchase feeders, because I would have to quarantine them, and it's just too big of a risk of introducing disease into fish that I'm really invested in. And I don't breed my own because honestly the time and effort that would go into breeding and raising feeders to an adequate size for the size fish I have would just be nuts. And I really don't like to feed live simply because I feel like it makes them more aggressive, and the last thing I need is those fish being more aggressive to each other or to me. And you know, there's really no nutritional advantage. Now I do occasionally give them live earthworms, crickets, stink bugs, things like that as treats, but I don't see any reason to feed live when I can feed good quality non-live stuff. I've ever tried keeping killifish, a couple species, but I don't have lids on most of my aquariums, which means a lot of the killies are just not appropriate. You know, I keep not only the things that interest me, but also the things that I know will do well down here. So I avoid cool water species for the most part. Temperate are okay, but like I don't keep goldfish or axolotls. You guys always ask about that, but it's too warm down here. And on the cool side of the fish room where I do keep fish that are cooler, I have already plenty of stuff in there. So, best cheap air filter, just, oh, what? Would I keep Chana? They're illegal. So no, but I would love to. There's some really beautiful dwarf snakehead species that are absolutely incredible. No, I've never had plecos jump out of my tank. If I change the substrate, do I have to cycle the tank again? Not if you're using all the old decor, but you may want to watch for a mini cycle if you're switching it out entirely. Is there one species you would keep, I would want to keep, but will never have the means to? That's legal? Lungfish. Well, no, stingrays probably. I really want them, but I don't have the space. When am I meeting Joey again? I'll see him the weekend of March 2nd. I'll probably fly back out there at some point to visit him. I will see him, I think, in June. And I'm not sure if there's any more dates this year. Have I done anything with electric blue Acaros? No, but they are beautiful. Which has a richer color, Espy Rasboras or Harlequins? I like Espy. They have a more copper color. The Harlequins are more of a salmon color. I gravitate more towards the orange. New Jersey this year, yes. How many Oscars in a 125? It really depends on what size you get them. If you grow them out smaller, you can get away with more than if you try and mix them in when they're big. I see people saying, don't you see my messages? Probably not. They scroll by pretty fast on my phone. It only shows 3 at a time. How do I maintain tank temperature in winter? I heat my room. You can keep an Oscar in a 55, but it's way easier and better for them in a 75. When will I be in Chicago next? No clue. Give the Bashir fix yet? Yeah, I've met Corey from Aquarium Co-op. I don't know if Joey and I will be coming to Halifax. We don't even have the date planned yet. All right. Would I ever keep a black ghost knife? Maybe. They don't really appeal to me. West Coast Canada, closest I'll be getting to that will be Manitoba. I was in Saskatchewan last year. I know I need mods. Coney Island was fun. That was even though it was a trial of many issues. Let me see what my camera battery is at. Yeah, we can unplug and look at some fish. Oh shit, shoot, I mean, sorry guys. I just yanked you off my tripod. So there's now about 70 Odos in the 75. You can see, you know, before there were like maybe 12 or 15. You can see how much more visible they are with more of them. They're all over the place. Now, what did you guys want to see? The babies? These little babies. Look at their little nom nom faces. There's 4, 5. Oh, and the last one's underneath the wood back there. They're growing already. They're always hungry. Let's see, what else is out and about? Look, you can see one of the 173Bs, sort of. Someone had asked about the guppies. They're in here. Oh, I have a tickle in my throat today. The guppies are looking good. I think they're pretty. Probably not going to see much in this aquarium other than pleco poop. Oh, look, there's a tail of one of the zebra types. Laser cories. No one's been fed today, so not everyone's out and about. And the laser cories like to hide or like to hang out underneath that sponge filter. Hey, Joey. And the shellies are beneath them. We can take a look at them real quick. They think they're going to be fed. Rainbows. I wish I could focus this for you guys, but I really just can't. Look at this big Ancistrus. He's gorgeous. The fish I have housed with my Maltese with the yellow tails are Cyprichromis, the sardine cichlid. They're very pretty, but I actually don't love them that much. I don't have any cyano in the shelly tank. Oh, you mean those shells? They came colored that way. There's not actually cyano in that tank. You know, there's no cyano around. Just some of those shells are colored that weird color. Big boys, you guys want to see the gar bag? I always save feeding them for you guys on the live streams. Let me drop some food in there. All right, get ready. This is a 7 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot. Feed the gars 3 times a week. You can see he's such a drama queen. The tropical gar, the big one, this one is full grown. He's about 2 feet. This one's still growing, has another foot to go. The Endleys are still growing as well. You're so dramatic. I do feel like the big gar may need a name at some point. The only time the pollies really move around a lot is feeding time. I think it's so cool though how you can really see how they behave as ambush predators. They grab that food and run away. You want to see Captain Cranky Pants? There's not any tannins in that tank. This is like, look how thick this glass is, guys. This is a really old school aquarium that I got for free. And the glass is just stupid thick. And it has like 1 bulb over it, so it's just dim. If I lit it up more, it's clear. It's just old, crappy glass. Captain, you have been requested. Free tanks are great, especially when they're, you know, 7 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot. Look, he's coloring up for you guys. He must like you. This is my house, not a, well, it's a store too. I don't know about breeding Siamese algae eaters, to whoever keeps asking that. Captain is, I guess he'll be 13 soon. As in years? No, I'll never get an alligator gar. Yeah, he's real old. That's why he's so imperfect, but I love him anyway. They have pharyngeal teeth, so he can't really snap a finger off. What they can do is sort of suck it in and then grind it. Did you guys hear the gars being dramatic again? Captain is an Oscar. Yeah, Whiskey says feed me too. It's a 4-line Pimlodella. Captain's still giving us the hairy eyeball even while eating. Hillstream tank. Do a drive-by on the big boys again. Yeah, speaking from experience, unfortunately. Gastromyzon viriosus. Sicyopus zosterophorus. That's a giant turkey of an Amano shrimp. We have white clouds. We have yellowfin shiners, that one. That's a rainbow shiner. We have Brachydaniocyathet, Rhinogobius joy, Unanilus cruciatus, Soelia linealata, Stiphodon atropurpureus in the back there. Here's another Stiphodon atropurpureus here. Hi, Hannah. Then we have, whoop, Cobitus. And then you don't really see the silver coolies unless it's feeding time. I could drop some food in here. I gotta find it though. Here, you guys can sit and, ouch, sit and watch this aquarium for a minute and I'll go grab some food. This is my view when I'm packing fish. Look at this gar. Look at that mouthful. He has like 6 krill in there right now. That crypt was a gift to me from Penny Crowley up in Connecticut. Has the gar ever bitten me? Yes. Do I use a sump? No. The filter for it is back there. It's an FX5. Let's see if any of the little guys come out to play. It's a nice Brachydanio. Any Pandagaros? No, but I would like to get some. Can someone tell me what time it is? I go live every Friday. Look, you can see how pretty. 12:45, thank you. I have about 15 minutes then. Look at that little cobitus peeking out from underneath the wood there. So cute. Yeah, this tank is probably my favorite as well. Don't tell Captain Cranky Pants. I have a whole video series on breeding plecos. The white one. These guys? Or I'm not sure which one the white ones are. Hi, Bob. These guys are one of my favorites in this aquarium with that yellow. So pretty. Look at that fish. The bulbitis shouldn't require ferts. I think it's getting too much light. You see, I have the light set up on that side. I think I need to adjust the lighting. Oh, the cobitis. They're spiny loaches. Cobitis sinensis, I think. There's a whole lot of them in here. Started with like 5 and now they're everywhere. Look, here's a smaller one. Babies are doing good. The white one with the red. This dude. Oh, where'd he go? Now he's hiding from you. That guy? That's a Rhinogobius Jewy, the scarlet goby. Alright, let's take a couple quick peeks and some other things, and I'm going to sit back down before my phone dies. You guys want to see the little Boraris maculatus? They're so cute. My favorite Espies, Espy pencils, barred pencils. And in here with the Daisy's rice fish, which are always a crowd favorite. This is a whole hodgepodge of fish. I need to get in there and separate them all out. Apistos. I don't know where apistos are going to be visible today. I sold all the Borelli. There's some in here. I have to move a ladder. We can look at this species Nane, although he's kind of cranky. He likes to hide. He just went back there. He likes to hide and then be a show-off. Not a whole lot in between. Ember Tetra? Sure. I don't have a... It's a whole passel of embers in here. They look pretty good. Let's see. Someone was asking about the babies. I showed them at the beginning, but here they are again. The new light thing fell through, so I have to work on that. It's a long story. Whoa, whoa. My knee is not better. It's part of the reason I want to sit down. Least killies are fantastic. Yeah, I have red cherries. They're over at the other end of the Hill Stream tank. I have a 29-gallon cherry shrimp tank. Thank you, Amanda. My favorite type of rummy nose. I'm not sure how they look. They just came in today. Hemigrammus blaheri are my favorites. There's a bunch in here. Those are my favorites. Look at the mess over there. Oh, how embarrassing. You guys are seeing it. Definitely not. It's a disaster down here. Let's see. Any experience with McMaster Eye? That's fantastic. Happy birthday, Angie. Oh, yeah, thank you. Plugging my phone back in. I gotta see if I can run to the liquor store here after I get packed and clean my house and water change. I have bred discus. I don't currently keep any. Do they deliver fish to my house or do I have to pick them up? Both. Depends. Depends on the source. Thank you, Andre. I get in weekly shipments to my house, and then once a month I have to go to the airport and pick up bigger shipments. I don't keep angelfish. They just really don't tickle my fancy. You know, I only work with things that I think are cool. My email address is Ms. Jinxed. Well, you can go to my website, msjinxed.com, MSJINKZD, and there's a contact tab that'll send me a direct email. Cardinals were in with that wild Episto that was being shy. How many bettas do I have? Just Sid. I haven't had a blue eye Pinoc. Why did I stop keeping discus? They just weren't for me. The new camera is awesome. No, the contact link works. Should work. I get 300 emails a day, and that's where they're coming from. The baby bikers are doing great. Where do I buy aquatic plants from? I can get them wholesale. I don't really know of a source that I personally recommend. You know, I mean, right now I am 337 emails behind, some of which go back to, looks like February 3rd. Wow, thank you. I don't know how to say your name, so we'll just call you Sham. A lot of times if people send me an email and it's this long and it's got like bullet points and numbered questions, it takes me a bit longer to get back than to the people who say, how much does it cost for blank, or what does shipping cost for blank, or do you have blank? Like especially lately, you know, it's been a whole lot of, sorry, I'm not shipping right now, the weather's too cold, please check back. I mean, I don't mind the long emails, but they're not the kind that I can sit on my phone as I'm waiting to pick my daughter up from diving and answer easily. I have to sit down at my computer and you know, so I try and wait until I have time to sit down and really think about it. Yeah, I've lost a lot of weight. And Aunt Lynn. Oh, this is tickling my throat. Oh, congratulations, Anna. Can I remember getting my first tank? I still have my first tank. I think it's buried in my office. I had a 16-gallon bow front. It's basically like a taller 10-gallon with a bow in the front, the flat back one. I still have that aquarium. I loved it. It had a honey gourami. It had pygmy cories. It had cherry shrimp. and some of those neons over there. So, of course I remember my first tank. Started out with blue gravel, and then it went to natural gravel, but it always had plants. How old are those neons? Well, those weren't from my very first tank, but they were from our last house. Those neons will be 13, probably any time now, 13 years. No, the same neons. I got my first fish tank as an adult, probably in about 2004. So I guess they're 14. My family is not involved in my hobby. They don't like fish. They like to travel with me though, and like I've said a bunch of times, my husband built all these racks. He does all the plumbing, he runs all my electric, he carries heavy stuff. You know, my kids love to travel with me. How old am I? I'll be 40 in September. Most expensive nano fish? Oh gosh. I don't know. I'd have to think on that. $75 looks good. I can show you guys that plugged in. It's there. So it's doing fine. You can see there's a ton of otocinclus in there. Look at this mess. I left this mess from unpacking fish. There, it's magically cured. I love my new camera. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Love it. It's sitting right here. I love it. Got about 3 minutes. Oh, Rachel's on top of it too. Mrs. Sassy Face, that's awesome. Proud moment. I don't know. I don't know. I'm you know, every time a fish spawns, I feel like awesome, you know, and I get giddy and it's exciting, and it doesn't matter if it's a fish that other people have spawned or it's one that hasn't been spawned much at all. For me, like anytime it happens, it's like, yeah, we're doing something right. It's kind of like flowering a plant or something. You're like, woohoo! You know, so it's just, it's always rewarding. Yeah, Micro Rasbora rubescens, they're a great little fish. What fish did I breed first? I actually bred Brocus splendens first. Greenhouse, around Valentine's Day I'll go out there and probably add water to a lot of the plants that have been in dormancy, but leave them covered, and then in March I'll pull off all the overwintering stuff and get started. Because this is my first year with the greenhouse, I really have to see what the temperatures are like. Thank you, Mr. B's Fish and Things. But, oh, we got 2 minutes. No, I'm not heating it. It's not intended to be an all-season greenhouse. Could probably get some income off YouTube if I reduce the store. I mean, that's what I've been doing. That's what's been keeping me afloat. Is that you guys, like this kind of stuff is what's been keeping me afloat without having income the past 2 months. So, and I don't think you guys realize, like, how awesome that has been, that like I'm not, you know, not able to meet my bills because of generosity of people in live streams and just you staying engaged, liking, subscribing, sharing, all that stuff. It's really saved my bacon the past couple months, so thank you. Yeah, it's frustrating for me, Ed. Trust me, I would rather be getting back to work, especially after paying for Christmas, but it is what it is. Anyway, I should probably get back to work. Gotta get my clothes and cameras and all that stuff organized for this weekend. Cross your fingers my daughter does well. This is a really important meet for her. Again, I cannot express to you enough how much I appreciate you guys coming by. And I will see you next Friday. I'll make sure it's scheduled on Thursday at some point so you guys will know when. Have a great day.